Welcome back, and if you're playing along, then you know that in part 11 we kicked off a gratitude practice, where we started writing down 5 things we're grateful for each and every day. By now, if you've got a week or two of that under your belt, then you know how gratitude can dramatically impact our mood and our overall sense of well-being. Then last time, in part 12, we played around with that list a bit and used it to prime an interaction with that person by thinking about what we're grateful for with respect to that person, and hopefully by now you've had a chance to see just how much potential that act has on the outcome of such an interaction. This time around, we're taking our gratitude practice to another level by examining how the concept of gratitude and the expression of appreciation links together with the concept of humility. Whoa, wait a sec, Josh. Did you just say we're talking about humiliation?
I really love cats. I just want to hug all of them, but I can't because that's crazy. I can't hug every cat.
No, actually I said humility, but that's a pretty easy mistake to make. It's a lot like when I talked about the differences between seeking and granting forgiveness way back in part 6. The two concepts share a lot of the same terminology, but they couldn't be more different from one another if they tried. So what's the difference between humility and humiliation? Well, when we're humiliated, it's like we've made a public mistake and everybody's watching.
They can grow.
Suddenly, we're super embarrassed and we probably feel like running away, hiding, and never being heard from again. Where's the focus of this type of feeling? It's right here. That feeling of humiliation and embarrassment happens because suddenly we're worried about how others see us, and then we internalize those feelings and we turn it around into a lot of self-judgment. Humility, on the other hand, looks a bit different. When we think of the humblest people throughout history, who comes to mind? Okay, now when you think of the humblest person you know in your own life, who comes to mind? As you're thinking about that person, let's try something. What characteristics do you associate with that person? Odds are we think of that person as being selfless rather than selfish. This person probably puts us at ease when we're around them. They're probably pretty great listeners, and they also probably make time for us whenever we need it. They probably make us feel valued, important, and like we're worth something to them. A lot of us probably describe that person as genuine, authentic, real. Let's think about that for a second. Who wouldn't want others to see them like this? I mean, that's a hell of a great reputation to have, am I right? So what is it that humble people have about them that makes them so different? The key lies in their center of focus, where humiliation has its focus on protecting the ego and self-esteem. Humility, which is only a few letters different, has its focus on others. When we're feeling humiliated, we have a tendency to stop looking at the world around us, and instead we retreat back into our own minds. When we choose humility, we look around at others. We uplift, we inspire, we serve, we support. That's a pretty big difference. So how are we going to explore this? Well, what I want you all to do is to look back through your gratitude list to date and keep looking through that list until something grabs your attention. For me, when I tried this right before I made this video, I scrolled through the gratitude list and I stopped at hugs from Bella. Now don't overthink this. Just look through the list and go with the first choice. Then think of a specific person that you associate with that item for which you were grateful for. In my case, it's pretty obvious. I named a specific person, my youngest daughter. Then once you have that person in mind, go find that person and express your gratitude toward that person for however they connect to the item in your gratitude list. In my case, later today, I'm gonna go thank my youngest daughter for giving me hugs whenever I need them the most. Right before you thank the person, pay close attention to how it feels. Are there any nerves or butterflies flapping around in your stomach? Regardless of how small or large that feeling is, take note of it right before you express your appreciation. Remember our discussion of vulnerability way back in part 8? It's back! The V word and humility go together like spray cheese and crackers. To express appreciation to somebody else, temporarily vaults that other person up onto a pedestal. That temporarily gives them a sort of power over you, and that's what ignites those feelings of vulnerability. And that, my friends, is the essence of humility. But something cool usually happens, even though expressing appreciation temporarily places that person in a position of power over you. That other person is 99% likely to reach down and pull you up there with them. This usually happens by way of them returning the appreciation by thanking you for something, or simply by showing affection and their gratitude for you having expressed your appreciation. It's like a great big old gratitude love fest. That sounded kind of weird. Basically, that feeling of vulnerability is momentary, while the outcome of the situation is almost guaranteed to be a positive one. So sometimes it's just a matter of overcoming that hesitation at first. Humility, when combined with gratitude, can give us such a powerful relationship boost. But it takes awareness, intention, and a little bit of vulnerability. It's not easy to turn humiliation into humility, but with practice, it can be done. You know the routine. Like the video if you like where we're headed, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time.